Dances with Wolves, directed and starring Kevin Costner, was released in 1990 and went on to win various Oscars such as Best Film, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Editing, Best Sound, Best Soundtrack, and Best Cinematography. So it goes without saying, this movie is brilliant. It's fantastic from start to finish. Over its 4-hour runtime, this film it's incredible. It's the grandeur, the scope, the beauty, the story is just, it's brilliant. It's excellent. Kevin Costner does an amazing job both behind and in front of the camera. So Kevin Costner plays John Dunbar, a soldier in the American Civil War, who very early on in the film is acclaimed to be a hero. And due to his acclaimed heroic deeds, he's allowed to be stationed at any camp he chooses. And so he chooses to go to the most faraway station he can imagine on the edge of the frontier. But when he gets there, there's no one at the camp. He's completely alone. And the story starts off with him surviving out there until he comes across a band of Native Americans. And he ends up befriending the tribe, and the story beautifully follows his journey and his dynamic with the Native Americans and how he struggles with identity and he begins to question what it means to be American and who he really is. And the story brilliantly goes through this dynamic in a very visual manner. It's the cinematography in this film that really does the heavy lifting when it comes to exploring the theme of identity. And there's one shot in the film that really captures the theme and kind of is... This one shot is kind of a microcosm of the entire film, and it's where you have this grand open vista and in the centre of it is an American flag blowing in the wind, but then the camera starts to pan away from the American flag and it drifts off into the corner and then off screen, and in its place then are the Native Americans going on a buffalo hunt. And it's just a beautiful shot that really sums up the entire film. So enough cannot be said for the cinematography in this film. It's very simple. It's simple. There's not an awful lot of complicated movement. There's no grandeur in the cinematography. The grandeur is all in front of the camera. It's all in the open landscapes that are beautifully captured. And going back to that buffalo hunt that I just mentioned, there's a mind-blowing scene in this film that is the buffalo hunt. There's a scene where they hunt buffaloes and it's just incredible. The special effects, like the first thing I did when I finished watching this film was I took out my phone and I googled how did they do the buffalo scene in Dances with Wolves. It's just that incredible. It's amazing. You watch it and it's just your jaw hits the floor and it's how did they do this? It looks so real and it holds up incredibly. Like it's cinema magic. It's incredible. I cannot say enough about that. And like the cinematography, the acting in this film is simple. Like the characters aren't incredibly multifaceted and layered and deep, but they're still portrayed with a beautiful humanity to them. And so Kevin Costner and Graham Greene are really at the forefront of this film, and they both do amazing performances. Personally, I found Graham Greene's performance to be an awful lot more entertaining and absolutely deserved his Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. His performance is the best, is the strongest in the film. In my opinion, he definitely outshines Kevin Costner despite the imbalance of screen time. I definitely think he does an awful lot more with his character when he's on screen than Kevin Costner does. And it's really these characters and the story that really hold you and captivate you during the entirety of the 4-hour runtime. Like, you watch this and you get lost in the story and lost in the landscapes and the grandeur and the absolute beauty and scope and scale of this film. It's magical, it's incredible. And you know, when you hear an awful lot of films that are over 3 hours and are borderline 4 hours like this one is, an awful lot of the time you start to worry, is this going to be incredibly self-indulgent and it's just going to be unnecessary slow shots where it's lingering and dragging. But the story doesn't drag. It's edited brilliantly and the pacing never seems to lag in this film. There's always something happening with the characters. There's always something new being shown to us, and it really does an incredible job of holding you for the 4 hours. That being said, there is one part to this film that is atrocious. And it is because this film was made in the 90s. And that one singular flaw that I can point out in this film is the love plot. Now, overall, it's not terrible. It definitely adds to the film, and it's nice once it starts. It's that starting point that is really so rushed, like it just happens. You blink and they are making out. The two characters are great separately. They're brilliant, but we get a couple of scenes where they make eye contact. And then there's a scene where they make out. Just like that. And it's just like that. They barely speak. She's a translator. She's the only one in the village who speaks English, and she's also the only white woman in the village who... Yeah, it's kind of funny actually how the white man joining into the Native American tribe doesn't fall in love with any of the Native American women. It's the one random white woman in the tribe. 90s cinema. But the reason that this doesn't work is because it's so rushed. It's completely rushed and unearned, but you do get back into it, and the film does draw you back in, and it does sit you back down your seat, and Kevin Costner behind the camera really sits you back down and brings you back onto the journey, and the ending is incredible, and the whole final act of this film is brilliant, and that one little part of the story is really the only criticism I can give this film, because other than that, I really think it's a perfect film. It's brilliant. The story is incredible and deserves its 4-hour runtime. There's not a scene that you can take out of this film. There isn't. It needs every single moment of runtime. It earns it. Wholeheartedly, it earns it. It's a brilliant, brilliant movie, and it's an absolute must-watch in my opinion. Like, take 4 hours out of your life and watch this movie. You will not be sorry. It is brilliant. Watch Dances with Wolves. Absolute A. The only thing stopping this film from getting an A+ is that love plot and how rushed it is. So otherwise, hands down, this film would be perfect. There's nothing I would change. There's nothing that should be changed other than that love plot. But yeah, thanks for watching, and please comment below if you'd like me to review any other films. And yeah, this is my first film review, so I apologise if it was boring, dull, atrocious, off point, all over the place. My first attempt, and hopefully we'll get better as we go on. So yeah, thank you. Please like, comment and subscribe and all that other YouTube good stuff. Yeah, thank you.